Sweet. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Legendary Chiropractor Podcast. Oh my gosh, I am so excited. And I know I say that every single time in every single episode, but it's so true. Every single episode, I interview guests from all around the world who are absolutely crushing it, not only in chiropractic, but their personal lives and their educational lives, if they're students, and they're just rocking it. Tonight, we're sitting down with Dr. Devin Vrana. She is out in Kansas, and I am so pumped that she is tuning in tonight. And she's actually speaking at California Jam coming up actually next weekend, which is pretty wild. So we had Dr. Monique Andrews on and Tamara McIntyre on last night. And Dr. Monique is speaking at Cal Jam. So I'm just like running the gamut here, which I'm pretty stoked about. But we got a powerhouse week full of badass female chiropractors that are ready to just crank it up and turn up the notches, not only for female chiropractors and fellow female chiropractors, but also for just chiropractic in general, right? Like, let's light some fire under some people's asses and let's get this party started. So before we dive into anything further, I am going to share our initial sponsors. I want to thank them for their generosity, for their support, and then we will get heavy into content, hear Dr. Devin's story, and we will be right back, folks. To Inspire Women is the elite boutique coaching company for chiropractors who are looking to live life and run business in a way that is personal, unique, and authentic. They focus on business systems and money mindset mastery so you can pay down debt, be more profitable, and serve more people. Their goal is to empower you to achieve success by your own rules and your own definition. Head to toinspirewomen.com now because they know there's a better way. Chiro HD, superior cloud-based practice management software. Chiro HD is a user-friendly, all-in-one EHR solution built with one mission: to help you run your practice like a boss. Learn more at chirohd.com. Total Clinic Solutions is your go-to source for purchasing both brand new and refurbished chiropractic equipment, as well as phone support for repairs and maintenance. Call Derek and allow him to combine your wishes and his 23 years of chiropractic equipment expertise to find what's best for you and your patients at 704-622-4089 or head to totalclinicsolutions.com now. It's time that chiropractors look beyond spinal alignments and measure the nerve connections that keep our patients feeling strong and performing at their peak. CLA designed the Insight scanning technologies to transform exams and generate powerful reports that give practitioners the certainty they have been searching for. Learn how CLA has partnered with practices around the world by going to insightcla.com. Spinal hygiene products are designed to educate your patients on the importance of lifetime spinal care. To learn more about how spinal hygiene products work and to download the patient education material for free, visit spinalhygiene.co. Again, that's spinalhygiene.co. Easily share your passion for chiropractic and look good doing it with ABOVEDOWN apparel, offering a premium lineup of principled apparel that's impossibly soft, sustainably sourced, and chiropractic AF. Visit abovedown.co and follow them on Instagram to learn more and score yourself some sweet chiro swag. Sked is the all-in-one system that allows for amazing control and flexibility of your scheduling. Yes, your next new hire. Every aspect of when and where you service your customers is at your command. Sked is tightly integrated with your existing EHR system. This software was made by a chiropractor specifically for chiropractic. No joke. Go check out their latest care plan feature by heading to go.sked.life/legendarypod. Dr. David Toohill is an innovative product and marketing strategist, bridging the gap between your vision and strategic plan. He will help you design specific products and processes that are both scalable and set up to produce long-term revenue and growth. He has previously worked with influencers that include Dr. Josh Axe, Jordan Rubin of Ancient Nutrition, Olympic gold medalist Shawn Johnson, and many, many others. Schedule your call with Dr. Dave today by heading to meetwithdrdave.com. Training the best adjusters on the planet. Syntropy has reverse engineered what the masters do naturally. From the energetics to the mechanics, they've hacked the code to shorten your learning curve on the road to masterful adjusting. To find a seminar near you, head to syntropychirotraining.com. Thank you for allowing this brief disruption to take place. And now back to the program. Sweet guys, welcome back to the Legendary Chiropractor Podcast. I'm your host, Johnny Reuter, and tonight we are sitting down with our very special guest, Dr. Devin Vrana. I am so pumped to have you on the show, Doc, and I want nothing more than to hear your chiropractic story, how you got interested and invested into this chiropractic profession, because I know that some people have some really powerful stories, but I also know that, sharing that really can open some doors for other people to if they're on the fence of going into chiropractic, like, why is it important that we need people out there? So go ahead, Doc.
Yeah, so I was in my final countdown few months at K-State in exercise science degree. I was actually pre-med, pre-dentistry, and I don't like medicine, and surgery wasn't going to be the right fit. So as I took the MCAT, as I got closer, I was like, this is not what I want to do. And shadowed a dentist, not my thing. And I'm like, I can't see myself. That's not it either. And I was actually a bartender there through college and had waited on a chiropractor a few months before that. And him and I had shared a conversation, a very brief one, and he told me that he went to Cleveland. And that just imprinted in that moment, right? So circle forward to this moment that I'm coming short on graduation. I was a single mom. I was young. I knew that life was not just about me. It was about creating, abundance and support for this little boy. And I was like, all right, baby, what are we going to do? And it was literally midnight in this like meltdown that I remembered that moment. And I looked up Cleveland Chiropractic, and they were having a discovery day the next week, of course, as innate would have it. And so I signed up at 1:00 in the morning and went that following week. I remember sitting in the basement at the old Cleveland campus, which I miss that campus, the old philosophy, the roots of that place. I remember sitting down there and hearing Carl Cleveland talking about innate and the power that made the body and all of these things that I always knew but didn't have language for. And I mean, it was not a question. It was an instantaneous, like, yes, more. And I called my mom and I was like, Mom, I'm going to be a chiropractor. And she was like, Devin, you've never been to one. And I was like, well, I know, but this is what I've looked my whole life for. And she's like, well, how much does it cost? I don't know. How long is the program? 4 years. And she's like, what are you doing? And it wasn't mine to say no to. It was one of those moments you feel close to God, you feel close to universe of like, I couldn't have planned for it. It literally came for me. And my chiropractic journey, practice, my locations, different seminars, my opportunities to speak, everything in chiropractic has unfolded itself to me in that way. And it's been the most sacred thing to me in my chiropractic journey to learn more about it. I didn't come in with any preconceived notions or expectations. I just get to fall more and more in love with her as I get to know it more and more.
Awesome. I absolutely love that. Yeah. I love it. I just, like I said before, I love hearing people's chiropractic stories. I think it's really fascinating how other people are pulled kind of into this profession, and we all have this heart and abundance to serve out of the kindness of our hearts, and it's really, really powerful. I want to talk real quick before we get into main topics here. I want to talk about something that you said, like, so everything just kind of has unfolded for you, right? And I feel like a lot of times in today's day and age, especially, we're constantly bombarded with these messages that we almost have to put effort into the unfolding process. And I think a lot of times we get in our own way. Would you agree with that? And how can we kind of landscape that or navigate that rather?
Yeah, it's become a good check for me. I would say it's been an evolution and a maturity process for sure. When I am in the force and the hustle and the do, of course there's execution that needs to happen, but when it feels like it's coming from me, I'm typically off course.
Right.
But when something's pulling me and a door opens that I couldn't have known was even there, that's that innate whisper. That's that thought flash thing that I'm looking for, and it's never failed me. And so there is, with social media, an abundance of options, an abundance of teachers, an abundance of events. And so, being connected and clear enough to pause and get quiet and go, yes or no, and just trust. And if you can get in that kind of flow with chiropractic, with life, with practice, sky's the limit.
Absolutely.
And yeah.
I would agree 100%. Yeah. And I just like to kind of shatter that stigma that we always have to, be searching for the next great thing of, what does my life look like? What does this look like? And, go through this discovery phase. And it's like, sometimes you have to sit back and let life happen. And when I like how you said that, when I'm pulled to something, the energy is completely different. It's a completely different conversation. And the doors that open are also that much better, right? And that much bigger.
Well, we have the secret, right? We have the ultimate golden key, which is above, down, and inside out. And if we live that principle, that it's not like, what do I need? What's out there? What do I got to go get? And it's more allowing those things to come out of us. That's a completely different experience in life and business.
Yeah, absolutely. So tonight, for those of you that are just joining us, thanks for joining us on the Legendary Chiropractor Podcast. Tonight, the topics on the docket here, where we might go on several tangents, but the topics on the docket are passion and purpose. Comparing the two, how do you get them? How do you utilize them? Harmonizing personal and professional life. What does that look like for you, right? And we always talk about this 360-degree life. We always talk about this work-life balance. We're gonna get Dr. Devin's take on that. And the last thing we're gonna try to check out is chasing down dreams, big ideas, and living life to its fullest potential. Going back to what that looks like for you specifically, because I want to harp on this all throughout this interview, is that you're an individual. You are a unique person that is going to have different journeys, different experiences than others. Don't compare yourself. Let it flow out of you, whatever that might be and whatever that might look like. So, Doc, let's start with passion and purpose. Tell us, what do those mean to you? And tell us a little bit about more of how we can go about discovering those for ourselves.
Yeah, again, it goes to the pull, right? Which we mentioned of, what turns you on, what gets you excited, what makes you jump out of bed, and what makes you want to hit the snooze button. What feels like work, what feels like play, what feels like force, what feels like power. I mean, there's very different gears, and as you get to know yourself, and being bold enough and brave enough to say yes and to say no. And that fuels passion more than anything. When you spread yourself thin and you're saying yes to everything, it gets very watered down. And so, but when you start to hone in and you follow those breadcrumbs, it gets really bright and powerful. As far as purpose goes, it's equal parts moving your behind and leading the life of fire, and getting still and getting quiet and journaling and reflecting and enjoying the present moments. And so, again, it comes from maturity for me, because I was very much the doer, the achiever, and that burns you out quick. And so passion has become multifaceted. It's about, what fuels me as Devin, what fuels my family unit of 5 children and my beautiful chiropractic husband, what fuels the office, and it's are they in alignment? And so, one of the things that I would say to you is line yourself up, keep yourself in keeping practice and life in cohesiveness, and not like they're separate from one another.
Absolutely. And I just spoke with our guests last night, Dr. Monique Andrews and Tamara McIntyre, about what that looks like in what I consider 3 different aspects of our life, right? So we have our personal life, our professional life, and our educational life, especially for my chiropractic students out there. So what is that congruence and that cohesiveness looking like? And is it aligning, right? And a lot of times we can look at that and we can take a step back and it can be a little daunting. It can you're like, yeah, I'm missing some pieces, or why is that there, right? And you have this huge pothole in your entire, kind of roadmap, and you're like, that shouldn't be there, right? And now we have to be able to learn how to remove those kinds of things. So talk to us a little bit on this topic of passion and purpose. Talk to us a little bit about how to better clear our minds for our futures as chiropractic students specifically. So now I want to harp on our chiro students here. How do we get this mindset during school when the tough gets tough, right?
Gosh. You are in the gauntlet. You, Johnny. I'm so proud of you. I've been wildly amazed just kind of sitting here observing what you're doing and living, and it's so inspiring. You're wise. You're conditioning yourself so well for what you're going into. So
thank you.
Plugging that and grateful. And it lets me know too that the future's in good hands, because there's a lot of students that are rising, before they're asked.
Yeah.
And nobody handed this to you. You listened, you heeded the call, and you put it into motion. So, don't feel like you have to do so much. Man, I have somehow become this chiropractic mama bear. I love going to schools. It's my favorite thing. And I'm very protective of you guys. You're so oversold on the idea that you have to have it figured out. The advice I give is it's never figured out. The whole point of life is the dance. It's the play. You never get there. There's never a number in practice. There's never a collections, financial thing. You never get there. It's not actually different than it is in school. The juggle is just different. And I think about this book. It's called Suzanne's Diary for Nicholas. And it's not really the book. There's this one antidote that it talks about, and it's talking about juggling, right? And how there's different balls in the air at different times. And some of them are made of glass, and the work one is made of rubber. And so if something's going to drop, let it be the rubber ball that can bounce. Work life, professional life, you can come back and tend that garden. But as someone who's lost their mother early to cancer, as a woman who's got 5 kids, and I know how quickly they grow, there are certain things you can't undo. And so take care of your health. Make sure you're adjusted. Make sure you're living the principle before you're trying to teach the principle. Just line yourself up and ask yourself, does this fuel my fire, or does this siphon my joy? If it fuels your fire, go get it. And if it siphons your joy, say no and step away. Be clear enough to step back and ask yourself, where am I subluxated? Where is my life subluxated? And adjust it.
Absolutely. Hands down, mic drop. We're done. No, I think that's a really... I think that's a really hard thing for students to do, is say no, right? We're always, especially from Q1, try one, term one, whatever it is, we are pulled in so many different directions, and we'll go back to that polling, but you have to, it's more than the poll. It's being able to understand internally and have that dialogue with yourself of, is this aligned with who I am? And having that. Go ahead.
And this whole fear of missing out,
yes.
Right? FOMO.
Yes.
You're never missing out. If I'm here with you, it's because I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And if I'm at CalJam, it's because I'm supposed to be. If I'm not at CalJam, it's because I'm not supposed to be.
Right.
There is this dance of I love my beautiful friend, Dr. Denise Weber. She says, be where your feet are. And so owning that, being at everything doesn't mean you're going to be a better adjuster. It doesn't mean you're going to be more successful in practice. It could mean that you're going to be more burnt out and set up for more struggles. So, it's equal parts give and rest. And so, yeah, man, don't hustle so hard that you forget to enjoy the process.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I wrote down the classic phrase that people refer to this as is it's about the journey, not the destination, right? Because in reality, we know, you and I both sitting here know that there is no true destination because we're always looking to upgrade, right? Our goals from yesterday, right, are our biggest challenges today. So it's like if I set a goal out and now I'm, probably PO'd that, now I can't get to the next level yet, right? And so it's always something like that. And I like how you kind of tied in the finances too. We always people have this glorified idea of chasing money, right? And finances, but is it ever enough, right? And so you have to ask yourself that, and is that congruent with the life and the passion and the purpose that you're trying to live? I absolutely agree with you. And I also wrote down and circled, I said, take care of your number one, that being yourself, right? You have to take care of yourself. I love that you said take care of your body. It is your one place that you get to be and get to serve when you get out of chiropractic school. So absolutely agree with that on that. Do you have anything else to add on passion and purpose?
Well, yeah, I mean, right there where you handed it back to me on the self-care component, you are the product, guys. So it is all about you, how you, emotional, physical. It is all about how you condition. If you are crappy, you're putting a crappy product out into the world. So it starts there. And the other half of that is it's not about you at all. So there is this humble servant component where you have to balance the ego of, you have to shut the ego off and be ready to step forward just to give,
We don't have egos in chiropractic.
Never seen it.
Never seen it. Never. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, we're
go to that tangent.
When we come back from this short break, we will be talking about harmonizing personal and professional life. We've kind of started to dig into it a little bit, so we're right on the cusp. But when we come back from thanking our amazing sponsors for their generosity and their support, we will be talking all about it. Stay tuned, everyone. Every chiropractic clinic needs a compliance program. If you are not sure what that includes or why you need one, let Dr. Robin from RHDC Consulting help you build your chiropractic compliance. If you are ready to get started, head to robin-hale.mykajabi.com and let Dr. Robin guide you to the end result. Turnkey Practice is a chiro-focused full-service team. They are your administrative guidance through credentialing, lease agreements, and of course, office build-outs. They are there from start to finish, allowing you to focus on the marketing and building your patient base while they build your practice. Tailor-made for you. To get started, head to myturnkeypractice.com/legendarypod. Dr. Christy Wick is revamping the landscape of women's chiropractic coaching. With a focus on connection and congruence, she's on a mission to empower lady DCs across the nation to create bold, successful lives and practices their way. Get started today by visiting theilluminatedsquad.com. Imaging Services' primary business is chiropractic solutions. With over 45 years in the industry of helping chiropractors, Michael Tokash offers free consultations on building your business. In the past year, Imaging Services has installed over 100 X-ray machines and digital X-ray systems in over 42 states across the United States. For more, head to theimagingservices.com. The 56-day chiropractic boot camp, building badass female chiropractors who are instinctively successful. Head to 56daychirobootcamp.com/legendary for your free Endless Referrals cheat sheet now. Thank you for allowing this brief disruption to take place. And now back to the program. Awesome. Hello, everyone, again. Welcome back to the Legendary Chiropractor Podcast. We're live with Dr. Devin Vrana. We are absolutely on fire for chiropractic and also for fueling your fire. Figuring out tapping into yourself, what does that look like for you? I really want you to take away from this conversation, from this interview, of really what, I like how Dr. Devin put it, what fuels your fire and what siphons your joy. If you figure that out, man, you're golden. You're absolutely golden. So Doc, talk to us a little bit about the second topic here, harmonizing your personal and professional life. I know we kind of talked about it a little bit early on, but talk to us about what that looks like for you personally, and then expand it into kind of a teaching moment.
Right. So, notice I said harmonizing and not balancing. I love when people say, how do you balance, being mom of 5 and running a business? I don't balance it. The balance implies that everything is equal, and that's just not true. But there is harmony, there is rhythm. There are, sometimes I'm here and sometimes I'm there, because I've gotten very good at being aware of where I'm needed the most. And so listening for me, again, my harmony is going to look very different than other people's, because I've got twin 3-year-olds, twin 8-year-olds, a 15-year-old, a husband who counts as a child, love him dearly. And then him and I have separate practices. And so I've got my team over there too. I've got the people I serve within my practice. And so it is having this self-awareness of, where am I needed? And when I pull into the office, well, let's start back. When I get up in the morning, that's for Devin. That's Devin's time. And so if I'm saying, I don't have time for myself, come here, then that means to get up earlier. Hey, you want to say hi?
What's up, dude?
Say hi.
Hey, man.
That's my Phoenix. That's my baby. Can you shut the door for me, Stevie? He's hanging out with us.
Perfect.
But I need to get up earlier and take care of self. Then it's, connecting with my husband before the children wake up and having enough time, whether it be 3 seconds, to just say, I love you. What are we going to do today? Then it's getting kids off to school. So then I'm in mom mode. Well, I pull up to the office, I stop everything. I mean, that walking through those doors it's sacred to me, of like, that is the space where it pays for everything. It is my life's work. And these people drive to and from, they exchange money for me to care for them and their families. And so I've got to be in Dr. Devin mode. And so from 9:30 to 12:30, 3 to 6, or whatever it be that day, when I'm in that house, I'm Dr. Devin. Mm-hmm. And my Devin problems and my Devin celebrations and my, quite frankly, even some of the mom stuff, it is on pause. And it's like, I went to Disney World this last weekend, and Walt Disney was a master of this, in training people for Disney World. We're creating an experience for them. Mm-hmm. And so having the gears where I am able to shift. And that does give me harmony, because I'm not trying to be all the things all the time. That is exhausting. But I can give my whole heart to one thing at a time, a little better each day.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like how you use the word harmonizing instead of balance, because like we said at the very beginning, we try to create this life-work or work-life balance. And it's like, what does that look like, right? Because a lot of people want to separate that work, and they want to take it out and say, no, this is me out here, right? And then it's creating this cohesiveness in your life that's not only important to you personally, but it, like you said, it's your whole entire family, right? It's what pays the bills. It's what people pay for. It's also, people are relying on you. And I think that's something that we don't bring up enough in chiropractic, is the fact that people are, like you said, literally getting in their cars, driving to your office, paying you for a service, and you adjusting them and, what we know, changing their life, right? In the most positive of way. And it's absolutely an amazing transfer of time, money, and energy. And I absolutely love it.
And they're paying me for all of me.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I live according to that. And like with him, right? This is why in the morning, I don't say, Mommy has to go to work. I say, Mommy gets to go help people. And when I went to speak in Orlando this last weekend, it wasn't mommy has to leave. It's mommy's going to go talk to the people. And I showed them the pictures of where they're a part of the journey. They're not separate from it.
Right.
So part of it is don't create the subluxation in the first place. Don't separate the two things. Create a family that is at the center and the heart of all of it. It's the reason, it's the fuel for everything that I do.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And I also want to mention real quick that you brought up this experience, right? That experience, that culture that we create in chiropractic. And I understand, right, the harmonization of personal and professional life and giving your all in each scenario. But talk to us a little bit about creating that experience in your office. This is going to be one of our many tangents that we've already gone on, but talk to us about creating that experience in your office, because a lot of people will sit back and they'll say it's all about business systems and procedures and office flow and all this stuff. But in reality, we're selling personality. And if people don't align with you, they're not going to pay you and they're not going to show up to your office. Those are just facts. So talk to us a little bit about how to create that office experience and that culture that people want to be a part of and people want to come to.
Multifaceted answer. What a great question. As concisely as I can, right? We all have a heartbeat of an experience that we want to create. We have the niche market that we want, whether it's families, kids, athletes, geriatrics, rehab, animals, like what's your thing? What's your passion? What do you want it to look like? What do you want it to feel like? Now there's all different practice management systems, and I'm actually a fan because I think they, in a lot of cases, not all cases, but in a lot of cases, and for me personally, it helped me get out of my own way. Mm-hmm. Instead of like it being about Devin or my personality, as you put it, it became about the energy of the experience, that the heartbeat of Devin. So I don't talk a lot. It is high volume. It is high vibe. It is a lot of people. It can be the most beautiful chaos, but it's because we relentlessly train. Right. It is because we do have rock solid systems and procedures. It is because my girls know when the door opens, they know how I want them to say hi, because they're adjusting people energetically from the second they walk through the door, from the way they say their name and the way they bring them back. When I connect with them and I say their name, I set the tone for the adjustment before they even hit the table. So it is so the adjustment it's everything, but set yourself up for a beautiful adjustment every time with systems and procedures that create this beautiful full experience. And my girls, my CA, look for a dream team. Students, y'all, like, this is bigger than you. Like, don't go into this thing alone. Don't be an island. It is so much more fun. And my girls, my sister's in the practice with me now. So there's 2 docs, there's 3 CAs. And it is so much more fun. And it's like Cheers, right? Everybody knows your name. And right? It is the Disney World of healthcare experience. It doesn't feel like going to a doctor's office. It probably doesn't feel like going to a chiropractor's office. It's like coming over to a friend's house and getting your power turned on, because that's the experience that I want to provide. Mm-hmm. But that's having my systems in place and training for my team to be able to deliver at that capacity every single time.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. And I think I might have overstepped with the personality thing, but I don't think, yeah, but I knew what I meant, but you nailed it, right?
Well, and here's the only reason why I interject there is because, and I am so guilty, right? Like, even like some of the personality, the earrings and the shirt, if somebody's coming in, and because this is what I wear to the office, and if somebody's coming in and they're focused on me, the energy's not flowing in the right direction. And so whenever people are like, how are you doing? Fantastic. Wonderful. It could be the best day of my life. It could be the worst day of my life. And I promise you, when I'm in Dr. Devin mode, you won't know the difference. Mm-hmm. Because when I'm showing up, so my personality is steady, because my energy is steady, because I want that tone each time in the engagement. So it's totally semantics. I knew what you meant, but I see a lot of personality driven traps in business. And you could, of course. You could sell a lot of pretty shiny things and not get to serve the people because you're focused on personality and not the product that you're delivering.
Exactly. Yes, absolutely. And I think they all go together, and it's about, we're going to talk about that. It's about harmonizing all of those, right? And I think that's really important. So now, last but not least, Doc, before we go into our closing statements here, I want to talk about our last topic here, and this is chasing down dreams, big ideas, and living life to its fullest potential. Now, this is a huge topic, and we could probably do a whole podcast series on it. But talk to us a little bit about what that means. What does chasing down your dreams mean, and what is the big idea of living this life to its fullest potential? Because I feel like there's a lot of fluff in that, right? So break it down for us.
So it comes from a couple things for me. Hey, Feeny. Be quiet. He's singing to me. But simplest terms, when my mom transitioned a few years ago, and I've had the gift of being present at multiple deaths. And for me, this lesson, right, of chasing down dreams comes in a lot of different forms. For me, death has been my most profound teacher. And that's the awareness. We can circle to Kobe Bryant that we don't know. We don't know when we're going to go. We don't know how long we're going to be here, or that the person to our left and right are going to be here with us. And so the only moment that you have is right now. And so it can't, my mom put a lot of things in the bank. It was going to be, I'm going to write that book when. I'm going to teach that course when. And the book on her soul doesn't exist because she ran out of time, essentially. Mm-hmm. And so I'm very aware that my someday bank it's an illusion. And so it's equal parts having the vision of how I'd like to see it go, and then action stepping it each day. The big idea, we've talked about it throughout this whole thing, is it's not achievement based. It is life experience based for me. It is joy. It is excitement and adventure. I want to live in the fire. I want to dance because that's my nature. Like, I want to be out there. I want to be able to look to my mentors that I carry on my heart, like BJ Palmer. I asked myself, what would chiropractic look like if BJ Palmer hadn't have written the books? Mm-hmm. What would chiropractic look like if Jeannie Ohm wouldn't have served the ICPA? What would chiropractic look like if Billy DeMoss didn't create California Jam? It's our duty to take these things that God has placed on our hearts, God, universe, whatever you want to call it. There's these things that are in only me and only you that we are called to carry forward. And when you dance in that, oh my gosh, is life fun. It is so much fun. But when I wake up and it's like routine and I got to go to work, that's not why God put me here. That is not how I'm going to spend my days. And so it's, it's the big idea is that little things add up, right? The poem goes like, it's the slip on the snowy sidewalk. And of course he's talking about subluxation, but the gist of that poem to me is it's the little things in the day to day that tell the big story. And so, have the big vision, but be in the here and now along the way.
Yep. 100%. And I wrote down, if we cast a long vision, or we cast a vision, right, a dream, a goal, whatever you want to call it, we're able to, and we should be able to reverse engineer how we're going to achieve that, right? So how are we going to put that in action? No matter if it's a 1-day goal, if it's a 3-month away goal, or if it's a 10, 15, 20-year goal, we have to know what steps to take now and today in order to start achieving those steps further towards that goal, right? Or towards that dream, towards that vision. And we talked about this earlier in the episode, that the destination is not necessarily the point, right? It's the journey, it's the experience. What kind of zigs and zags are you going to have on this journey? Because life is precious, but also give everything you got in the present and the now, right? Because I love what you said when you're like, they're getting me as all of me, right? And as a doctor, right, we were talking about your professional circumstance, and they were getting all of you as Dr. Devin, right? And I think we need to be in that, and I love be where your feet are. I love that quote. I wrote that down from earlier, and I think that's so smart. But also have the mindset and capability to dream for yourself. Because if you don't dream for yourself, if you don't strive for something, right? We become complacent in this hamster wheel of a life, and it's the grind of the 9 to 5, the work, we don't do drinks after work, we don't do this after work because I have my routine and I stick to it, right? And I think that repetitive routine is oftentimes contagious, and it sinks your levels or your energy levels. It sinks your vibration, and you're not able to serve people at a greater power. So, would you agree with that?
Well, yeah, completely. And the key ingredient is proximity is power, right? Tony Robbins says that. Mm-hmm. So it's who you surround yourself with, and that's a choice. That's always a choice. And so you need to surround yourself with people who, success leaves clues, right? We know all of the cliche but so true sayings. That's like, get around the people that are moving in the world the way you want to move in the world. Yes. Watch the way they do what they do, and eventually you'll be doing what they do. And if you're afraid of a goal, good, and surround yourself with people who are going to pump you up and, ask you good questions, but also help believe in you. And if you don't have anybody like that in your life, call me, because I love, being that mirror that goes, you're the light, you got this, you can do this. Yep. That's my favorite thing in the world. Absolutely. Because I believe that's what we are doing for each other.
Yeah, 100%. And last but not least, let's talk quickly. We have some time before we're going to go on our last break here and then talk about a couple of your big events coming up.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
There he is. Okay. Playing with my
but talk to us a little bit about mentorship. What does that mean? What does that look like? Because a lot of times we want to surround ourselves, especially as chiropractic students, with like-minded people. But I also would believe and agree that we should be surrounding ourselves with people that challenge us, because it makes us better. It makes us bigger, stronger people. So talk to us a little bit quickly about mentorship, and then we're going to go into our last ad break here.
Yeah, so of course you want to find the people that you resonate with and that you trust. Trust is key. And so mentors have been, Feeny, I'm so sorry. But they've been pivotal. Dr. Yinny, I surround myself with mentors that shatter what I limit myself in believing is possible. And people that push me, people that have skills I don't have. Henry Ford always said, like, if you're the smartest person watch out. That's the most dangerous place on the planet to be. And so, that way. But then mentors to me are also, in chiropractic, it's everybody I meet. Johnny, I've already gotten so much push and fire from you. When I look at someone at your stage in the game that is so organized and putting content out and contributing to chiropractic, thank you, baby, for trying. We can learn. Mentors aren't always these people that we put on elusive pedestals, right? They're not the people on stages. They're the people to our left and right that hold us accountable to shine our brightest light.
Yes.
That's mentor to me.
Yes.
They're equals. They're my players in the game, and they're the people pushing me and being honest with me and seeing the best in me, and equal parts looking at me and going, hey, you're out of step. Mm-hmm. Those are my favorite girlfriends, are the ones like Lona Cook, Denisa Weber, Katina Man, that bring out the best version of me.
Yeah. No matter what it takes, right? And sometimes we need those rude awakenings that are like, hey, it's a wake up call, But awesome, absolutely agree. Let's go into our last ad break. Thank our sponsors for their support, generosity, and then when we get back, we're going to talk all about the big idea, the playground, and everything that Dr. Devin in her powerful circles is doing and happening, coming up real soon. So stay tuned, everyone. Dr. Stu Hoffman, founder and president of ChiroSecure Malpractice Insurance, is the foremost expert in both risk management and risk avoidance. Understanding the everyday challenges of today's practicing chiropractor and the current public perception of chiropractic has made ChiroSecure the fastest growing malpractice insurance program of the last 28 years. Find out more at chirosecure.com. The IFCO is here to support you. Whether you are a chiropractic student, doctor of chiropractic, chiropractic organization, or member of the public, the International Federation of Chiropractors and Organizations is here for you. They recognize and support your right to practice and receive vertebral subluxation-centered chiropractic care and are here to ensure that right and spread access to that care throughout the world. Head to ifcochiro.org/legendary for more. Be sure to give our friends over at Chiro Hustle a listen. They are bringing together some of the biggest names in the profession and learning from the greats. Chiro Hustle creates a safe space where chiropractic leaders share their stories and their passions with the world. Let's get hustling by heading to chirohustle.com now. Thank you for allowing this brief disruption to take place. And now back to the program. Awesome. Welcome back, everybody, to the Legendary Chiropractor Podcast, live with Dr. Devin Vrana. We've talked tonight about passion and purpose, harmonizing personal and professional life, chasing down dreams, big ideas, living life to its fullest potential, and what that means to you. So if you're just joining us, I want you, and I would encourage you, this isn't for the views. I don't care about those. What it is about is your learning and your ability to take this free information, this free content, this free value that Dr. Devin is more than willing to put on a silver platter for you and utilize it in your own personal life to affect those around you. That's what this podcast is all about. So Doc, without further ado, let's talk all about your upcoming events. I know you got some big things in the pipeline and coming up really quickly in March here. So talk to us a little bit. I'm going to drop some links or some dates rather on the screen, and then when we're done, Dr. Devin will drop some comments for links if you're looking to register or if you have any questions or anything like that. All of those will be in the feed for you after this episode. So go ahead, Doc.
So, of course, there's CalJam, which is next week, Valentine's weekend. And then in a few weeks past that, the first weekend of March down in Life, Atlanta, we're going to do what's called the Playground. Now, Friday night, we're doing that outdoor amphitheater at Life. I'm not kidding you. I put it on my vision board a few years ago. I'm like, I want to stand where the greats stood. I want to, there's energy on that campus. I love it. So I set that intention. Veronica and Papa G down there are helping us organize a free philosophy night on Friday at Life. It's me, Dr. Katina Manning, Dr. Denisa Weber, Dr. Lauren Kodik, and Dr. Hillary Rowanhorse, and Dr. Susan Rossi is going to join us. It's International Women's Day that weekend. And we're celebrating the feminine presence. Now, that does not mean like female, that means feminine. And showing what it's looked like through the female feminine perspective, but open to men and women, docs and students. And then that weekend, each of us has had such different practices, different experiences in chiropractic and life. And we're taking what we've learned from our mentors in business, in technique. So Saturday is all about communication and branding and authenticity, and how do you take all these different, because you guys are so bombarded, we've hit on this, right? So how do you take all these things that you learn in school from the different events, the mission trips, and put it into a package and take it into practical application? That's Saturday. Sunday, we're going into the hands, we're going into the heart, we're going technique, analysis, confidence, and how to communicate it. It can't be recreated. We did an event like this called The Remembering this last year. It was the most beautiful thing I've ever been a part of. It was Dr. Denisa Weber, Dr. Lona Cook, and Dr. Katina Manning and myself. And there's something that happens when you share. There's zero ego, zero. Mm-hmm. I mean, none. And it was literally just taking light and shining it inward for the students, for the docs that need to feel that light and to bring it out of themselves. So that's the Playground.
I love it.
Kind of can't. Yeah.
The playground is going to be March 7th and 8th in Atlanta, Georgia at Life University's campus, like she said. So that at least that first night is, and then you'll be, we'll figure out all the different venues and stuff. So, but that's called the Playground, March 7th and 8th. I highly encourage you to attend that. And it's actually as a community or an event group on Facebook. So like I said, Dr. Devin will drop that link after this episode concludes so that all of you can go hop in there, register for the event, because it's going to be awesome. Did you hear those names that she just listed? I mean, oh man, that's going to be absolutely phenomenal. And if you are a female or male chiropractor or chiropractic student, if you are not there, you're going to be steps behind, leaps and bounds behind those that are. So I highly encourage you to go check that out. And then the big idea, Doc, talk to us about not only where the big idea came from, right? And not BJ's sense, where your idea of the event came from, and then transition into giving us a little bit more detail behind it.
Yeah. So I've been so honored and humbled to go to the different chiropractic events and speak. My good friend, Dr. Tim Young, believed in me before I had a clue what believing in myself even looked like. And he put me on the Focus OKC stage, and it's kind of taken itself from there. And I've gotten to do, ChiroFest, CalJam, all these things. So I found myself in this rotation where I was going to all these events. And I went to Focus in 2017. And it was this it was just this explosive, euphoric, oh my gosh, the world, everything's great. And I came home and I was looking at my daughter and I was like, but my people didn't hear it. And it hit me that all of this truth, all of this passion, all of this freedom, all of this goodness that I just had poured into me all weekend, this access to these amazing speakers, my family, my community, my practice doesn't have access to like I do. Mm-hmm. And so thought flash in our field back at home was we need to set up a BJ Palmer white tent where we invite chiropractors and chiropractic students and our practice and our family. So general public, chiropractic, let's all come together and let's just talk about the big idea. It was supposed to be a one-time thing. We put up a tent on our property. We had 80 people camping. So we had chiropractors come the night before. We did a workshop. Everybody camped. It was 80 degrees. And that night, the craziest storm hit. And it dropped from 70s to 40s. Thunder, lightning, rain. The tents are falling down. We had to bring everybody into our house. It was crazy. The Saturday main event where everybody came together, we had to go buy heaters. It was flooded. But if you ask anybody that was there, it was beyond words. And getting to watch everybody snuggle in together and tell their stories. And for me, what I perceive to be one of chiropractic's current subluxations is that we know the truth, but we're not super great at telling it. Mm-hmm. And if they knew what we knew, they'd do what we do. And so we go to these seminars and we get really hyped up. And I've just hit my breaking point where it's I can't just go and where we beat on each other's chests and we get all pumped up and we come back and we settle back into routines. I can't do it. And so this environment is I take the voices that have inspired me the most and I put them on a stage so they can show other chiropractors and chiropractic students how to tell the story without selling, mm-hmm. right? They're not selling, they're telling the story. And then inviting the general public to they've never heard it. Right. It becomes so normal to us that we forget how not normal our world is. and I'm not doing my duty until I get all my people in there. So this year we've got Tim Young, Billy DeMoss, Zeus is coming, Dr. Jennifer and Simon Floriani, all the way from Australia are coming, more and more names, and it's to be humbled of I don't know how many people have literally quit their jobs and gone back to chiropractic school because they were in the audience. How many young kids have come in and it's left me speechless. Like I said, it was supposed to be a one-time thing, but it's the people, it's the general public who are yes, bring them back. And so I want to serve out in the world, and I want to bring the world to my hometown to my people who mean the most to me.
Absolutely. I love that. I absolutely love that. The big idea, that's going to be October 10th, 2020. So it's down the road, but you please plan for it. I know ticket sales are open already, so please get on that. And again, Dr. Devin will drop that link in the feed, but you got to get there. If you didn't, like, these are one-time events, meaning that the people that are there, the energy that is there, the things that are said, the environment that is produced when those same people come together, that's a once in a lifetime opportunity. And I say that all the time. People are like, why do you go back to the same events all the time? Because it's different every time. Yeah, the general message is the same, right? It is usually typically the rah-rah, go chiropractic, but at the same time, it's different because we get to talk with one another, we get to share with one another, and we get to see each other grow. And I think that's really, really cool is when you see someone. Like, I'm going back to Cal Jam this year, and I'm going to see a lot of familiar faces in the hallway that I saw last year, and I shook my hand, or I went palm to palm with them and, said, hey, I'm Johnny. I run the Legendary Chiropractor, and people were like, I don't know who you are. I don't know what that is. I don't know what you do. And that was a year ago in February, or in March, rather, for them. And now it'll be so cool to go back and, shake the same hands and be like, hey, how are you doing? How have you been? What's new with you, right? And that's what it's all about. Jim Chester and I always say we get our best times in the hallways versus actually, in the venue, unless amazing speakers like Dr. Devin are speaking, of course.
No doubt. It's equal parts, no doubt. And it, like you said, you can't recreate it. So you're either in the game experiencing it, yes, or you're not. So absolutely, you don't want to flood, yourself with too many things, but you got to get out there and play too.
100%.
So
100%. Yeah, Doc, well, I really appreciate you. I want to do some closing remarks for the Legendary Chiropractor quick, some shameless plugs and some updates that we got coming. So with the Legendary Chiropractor, we are launching a brand new site come July 2020. This site will be absolutely amazing, super interactive, super immersive, and really inclusive for all of chiropractic students mainly, and then doctors to be able to connect with said students and really start building and bridging this gap between what's happening out in the real world, we'll call it, and in the chiropractic school bubbles that, we are constantly driven into the textbooks and the tests and the national boards and all of these different things. So we want to combine all of this and bring it together in one common ground and under one roof for you. So that's going to be the legendarychiropractor.com coming July. We're going for soft launch in April, but that's a really, really big update for us. Dr. Devin, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for not only your kind words, but also for being on the show, sharing your inspiration, sharing your fire, and hopefully being able to fuel others' fires as well, no matter chiropractic student or doc who's been out 10, 15, 30 years. So I really greatly appreciate you. And I want to thank you. Get to the playground March 7th and 8th. That's at Life University. Get to the big idea 10-10-20. So that's October 10th, 2020 in Wichita, Kansas. And that is Dr. Devin's baby, so you can go check that out and be sure to be there. Like we said, these are once-in-a-lifetime experiences. So, Doc, with my whole entire heart to yours, I really appreciate you being on the show.
Feelings are totally mutual. Like I've told you on here and on breaks, I'm so inspired. The future of chiropractic and humanity are in the best hands when I watch people like you do your thing. So thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. I'm honored, Doc. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for tuning in to the Legendary Chiropractor Podcast. Be sure, if you like this, share it with some friends, and we'll have a good night. Bye, guys.